Hey, good evening, social media, and welcome to the Sports Doctors In. My name is Larry Abels, and I'm accompanying the Sports Doctor himself, Earl Go Rush. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey Larry, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I want to get you. I'm doing fine. I want to get your ideas about or your thoughts on the since we last met, both series have ended. So let's just talk about this. We can start off with Western Conference that ended first. Um, OKC took Minnesota out. What was the difference in that series?
Um, Oklahoma just has more. They have more talented players than the other team. They're just deep, man, and they're the best defensive team that I've seen.
Is that
Period.
right?
And I'm not a prisoner of the moment. They're the best defensive team that I have seen. I know it sounds crazy because home was pretty soft and he's really disappointed. I think people expected a lot more from him than what they're getting. But he'll be all right in time. But we're talking about right now. With him being soft and Hartstein, he's a good player. They may not be dominating people physically, but they got the best team that I've ever seen. Defensive team.
Even about Holgram, he blocks shots. He's just kind of light, but
Yeah, but there's too many people be taking advantage of him. He's too big for the way people be abusing him, man. He just got to get some heart, man. Sit in the Oz, he'll be all right.
oh wow. See, I see him coming up with a lot of blocks, especially when he's coming from the weak side. I think he's just not strong enough to take certain people
Well,
on.
he been playing ball long enough to know he's supposed to lift some weight. Shit. Oops, excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What's he supposed to do against Julius Randle? Though? I mean, it's definitely a physical mismatch. But
He knew
Randall didn't score a lot in some of the games. He didn't score that much.
he knew he was going to be a big man in the NBA. He knew that. He had plenty. He had 4 years. He didn't come out. Did he come out early? I guess he did.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's had years to know that he got to get his body right. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that.
I don't think he's ever going to be a big guy, but he's definitely got to get stronger.
He don't have to be big. He has to be big, but you got to be strong.
Yeah, he's got to get stronger.
He's not strong.
How do you think Anthony Edwards played?
He played all right. There were times where he was struggling. He played okay. He's not why they lost. He didn't have no help. It was just him. And there were times he was struggling, but he didn't have no help, man. The people coming off the bench didn't come through consistently. And Randall decided to show everybody why I always talk about left-handed the series. He was so inconsistent, it was ridiculous. What's Anthony going to do? He can't do everything by himself.
What was really telling to me was one game. I think Edwards took a lot of beef for not taking a lot of shots. I think it was like game 4 or something like that.
That was perplexing to me.
But you know what? They were like triple teaming him, and he was passing to other people, and they were making shots. I mean, they were making shots, but they just could not stop Oklahoma City from scoring. They lost like 128 to 126. I mean, 126 points.
You got to be the leader, Larry. You got to set the tone. I know he was passing to people and hit the shot. There's still a time where you got to say, "I'm still here now, y'all. Don't forget me. I'm still a man," and you got to do what you got to do. He was struggling a little bit, but I was kind of disappointed in his performance in the series. I don't know what's wrong with him. How you going to take? How many shots did he take? He took like 13,
8 or 9, something like that.
He took 8 shots in a possible deciding game. You take 8 shots. Come on, Larry.
I think he took 13 in the last game. But yeah, he had 2 games where he didn't shoot. He didn't take a lot of shots.
What is your explanation besides he was making the right move and just distributing.
I think they just the game that they lost by 2 points. I didn't think that was their problem. I thought, I mean, when they're gonna put three guys on somebody, he should pass it. And as long as they're making the shots, I don't have a problem with it. Their problem to me in that particular game, they just couldn't check them. I mean, you score 126 points in regulation, you should win. Now, the last game, I think he started off a little more aggressive, and then they just kind of took him away that game.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you.
Shot more.
I'm gonna ask you a question 2 times in a row. Okay? I'm gonna ask you the same question twice.
Okay.
Before the last series that was played between Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma Thunder.
Okay.
Before the series just played, would you consider Anthony Edwards a superstar?
I guess I don't know.
I'm sorry, you're not good on that. You get
I think we too much stuff. He's one of the best players out there. He's in the top 10 players in the league, I would say.
I was going to ask you what you thought of him, and then I was going to ask you, was he a superstar after you saw this last series?
My opinion about him hasn't changed.
Okay.
My opinion about him hasn't changed.
All right. Mine has. That's unacceptable. That performance was unacceptable in that series. I know he needed help. I know he couldn't do everything on him. You got to take 1 of 8 shots. You got to.
Well,
you got to.
To me, when they're scoring okay and you putting 3 men on them, I'm fine with them taking a few shots. Now, the last game they weren't scoring, and in that situation, when they're not scoring, then I think you got to shoot more.
A
lot depends on how the game goes. Everybody doesn't have to score every night. Is really what I'm getting at. And very few people do score every night.
Okay.
I guess you're super duper stars like Michael Jordan.
No, I mean, superstars have been double teamed and triple teamed along the history. In history, you can go from way back when.
No,
they were a superstar. They still found a way.
Well, they at least took shots. They might not have made it, but
they at least took shots.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think you got to go with how the game's going. That one game I keep harping on, when they score 126 points, I ain't have a problem with other people if they're making shots. If the other players are making shots, to me that should cause Oklahoma City to come out of their defense. And I mean, that was a real close game. Now the last game wasn't close at all. And if I'm him that game, I'm leaving I'm emptying all my bullets before I leave out of there.
But he didn't.
I know that's why I said the last game. I'm making a distinction between the two games.
And I don't understand. But I understand. What I do understand, Larry, it's not for me to understand everything. So I'll leave that at that. Are you kidding me? 8 shots, 13 shots. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Wow. So what does Minnesota need to do to improve? They've gone to the finals 2 years in a row. What's the conference finals? Do they need to make a move or something? A big trade, or maybe the guys can just get better?
They need a center. Gobert's not the answer there. They need a center, and they need the backup point guard got hurt. If he hadn't got hurt, Dillingham, Minnesota would have been all right. They need a backup point guard as well. They need a point guard. Calmly give him 20 minutes and let him be on his way. They need a point guard, and they need an agile, mobile, hostile center. They don't need nobody that's he can't do anything, no kind of threat or anything. Sometimes he make a free throw, sometimes he don't. Gobert's soft. So many people embarrass him. He's been on so many memes. Get rid of him. They need a guard and they need a center to answer your question that you asked me. What do they need to do?
Did the trade for Randall for Cat have any impact?
I think it hurt them.
Okay.
I think they should have kept Cat. What? I keep calling him Cartwright. I think they should have kept him. Anthony Towns. They should have kept him. Even though I think he's very soft, they should have kept him. You don't get rid of a guy like that. Not for Randall. You know, you want to trade people, do something. Get some work behind it, if at all possible.
So you don't think Randall was played pretty well in the playoffs?
I thought he played very well. He surprised me immensely. But I wasn't counting on it. That's why he surprised me so much. I'm not going to say, well, he was killing people. He was killing people to the last couple of games, to the last couple of crucial games. Then he let the left-hand side come out. He let the inconsistent side of his game come out.
So you think it was him being soft as opposed to Oklahoma City's defense? How much of
who being soft? Carl Anthony Towns?
Randall versus Oklahoma City's defense. Was Randall just choking or did he get choked?
They were doubling up on him like that. They were doubling up on him.
They didn't treat him like they did.
Yeah, they didn't really put that much. They was really dogging Edwards. They had like two people on him most of the time, but not three. You know, but I just Randall. This was just that was unfortunate. If that was one time that Randall was going to be inconsistent. That's all. I'm not going to say they stopped. They didn't really put no effort to stop. Who they put an effort to stop? Who I've seen do it to is Jokic. They put. They had Caruso on it, but they had Hartstein and Holmgren in the back to cover. Yeah. You know, they made an effort to stop him. I haven't seen them really make no effort to stop him. I don't know what's wrong with Anthony Davis. He was just off. They were putting two people on sometimes. They were doing that.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Knicks and the Pacers. What did you think of that series?
I didn't think much of the series.
You didn't think much of it?
I didn't think much of it at all. I don't think much of it at all. I mean,
you didn't?
Indiana just had better players. Indiana was just better than them. It was just better than them. I felt sorry. I don't even like the Knicks. I felt sorry for the Knicks in the last game. There was nothing they could do. It was nothing they could do. They didn't. It just felt bad for them, man. I don't think much of that series. They gave the series away. They gave the first game. They said, "Here, take this present."
Well, you know, that was a big. I think Indiana was better than them, but yeah, we'd be at Game 7 if they hadn't done that. They handed that game to them.
Yep. So
yeah, that was a big mistake on their part.
You think the Randall trade, how did that affect or help New York Knicks?
Well, you know, Randall had been hurt last year, so I kind of forgot about him as far as the impact he had on the Knicks. But I gotta say, I thought Towns played very good on the offensive end, and I thought he was aggressive. He stopped. At one point, he was shooting too many threes, but he was taking it to the hole and everything. He's just too slow on defense. And Siakam beat him down court every time. It was getting layups. Anytime he shot a three or even went to the hole, Siakam would just run the other way, and he couldn't get back. Now, he's not the only one that needed to get back, but sometimes he needed to get back.
He played with the offensive line. He could have played better.
Towns?
He could have played better offense.
No, but I mean, he's getting 20-something points a game. I mean,
I know 27 points. It's 27 points. So
I don't expect him.
It's really not much I can say, but I'd rather he score 27 points during the game than 2 points in the first quarter and 27 in the last. What difference does it make? 27 is 27 points, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best person to me, I guess a guy that played well for New York to me was OG Kanobi. I thought he played pretty well, especially the last game. He was the only one really playing. He seemed like he could guard his opponent and score on him. But Brunson is very ball dominant, and I think they wore him out. Even though he had some good games, and Towns and Brunson to me are just one. They just play offense, and I think their liabilities on defense. That's
they try to play defense. They just don't play defense as well as some people we've seen playing defense in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think people will hunt them. I think they'll try to work picks and get switches on them, and they put forth effort. I'm not saying they don't put forth effort. But that was a problem.
Yeah. All right.
And I think you picked the Knicks and I picked the Pacers.
I picked the Knicks and you picked the Pacers.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened.
Yeah. Now, I pretty much would bet, and I don't bet, that you knew that's what was happening. You knew that's what happened.
I was
so.
So now we have
Would you have fired? Would you have fired that coach?
No, I don't see what the problem with him was.
Okay.
I don't really think their team is that good, and I think they got a lot out of them.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
He didn't manage the team well, right? Why? How come he never played this bench? How come he never even tried to play this? How come he didn't even?
He played his bench.
No,
he played his bench.
Come on, Larry. He didn't play his two.
He started playing them like
last two games.
I think from game 3 on. Now the guys on his bench.
From game 3 on, right?
Yeah. After they lost those first 2 games.
Okay.
And then they won like 2 out of 3.
He don't manage teams right, Larry. He's been labeled how he's been labeled for years for a reason. They just stop making this stuff up. He don't play. He don't like to play.
No, he plays a short bench.
Yeah, but you gotta change with the times, man. You gotta change with the situation. If Indiana or Denver, whoever is running up and down the court, and your men are tired.
No, I agree.
Okay,
but he changed by game 3. That's when he started using his bench.
Right, if he should have got fired after the game. They lost that lead, the first game.
Well, yeah.
He's the coach that find something, somehow, some kind of way, stem that tide.
But here's the thing: the Knicks really weren't that good. If you look at their record this year, they weren't
good. They had a bench. They could play more.
They won 50 games, but they never beat Boston. They never beat Cleveland. They never beat Oklahoma City. They lost all.
So why not put somebody in there who might beat them? They keep playing the same people all the time.
So they needed to bring in a big star, and they traded 5 number 1 draft picks for the guy from New Jersey, Bridges. I think the general manager made that move. The general manager
made bad moves. He's made bad moves. That don't have to.
Well, I think they should have brought somebody else in. And Bridges is okay, but not. Now Giannis is out there. They could have traded 5 picks for him to Milwaukee or something like that. Now they don't even have anything to move. I think the GM is protecting himself by doing that, finding a
Honestly,
scapegoat.
they've been mismanaged, Larry. They haven't been anywhere since the 90s. Obviously, their organization is inept.
Well, I mean, they won 50 games, so I think that's a pretty decent season. But I think there's just a limit to limit to what they could do.
There's a limit to what you can do when you have a coach that don't know what he's doing as well.
I think the coach is a good coach.
Yeah, okay.
Every place he goes, the team they do well. I mean, his style of playing, more players, a few players he's probably got to reconsider that.
Well, he's been in the league for decades, Larry. He should have made the change by now. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over with no
So you
success.
think he's the reason that they lost?
He's one of the reasons. I don't think he is the reason.
Oh, okay. I mean, because he switched the style. They just don't have enough. They just ain't got enough players. And even the guys he went to.
They got to that though, Larry. If you're a coach, you would have been made that change.
The guys he went to are very one-dimensional. The one Shamu, all he can do is shoot. He can't guard nobody. And the other guard, he can't shoot. They want to keep open.
They were up by 30 some games. Fourth quarter, Brunson still in the game. I'm not talking about just this series. All year he's not been playing anybody. It just don't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. Why?
I just think their team isn't that good, and I think they're overachieved by beating Boston. Even though I think Boston kind of gave that to them, they overachieved because you really didn't think they were going to beat Boston, did you?
Wait a minute. You say you don't think that they were that good, but they could have won it. So you don't think Indiana's that good?
No, I didn't think New York would win. Remember, I was saying I wasn't sold on New York. Say that again.
The Knicks should have won that series.
I still think Indiana was better than them. I didn't think New York. I wasn't sold on New York. I think they was lucky to be there. I think Boston should have beat them. Boston gave them that series.
Were they more lucky to be there, or was Indiana more lucky to win?
No, Indiana has been dispatching everybody that's gotten their way. Now they're kind of lucky too because they've gotten to play teams that were hurt up until this point. But I wasn't sold on New York at all.
Okay.
That's why when we made our picks, that was my whole thing. I wasn't believing in them.
I was sold on the Knicks either. I just really wasn't sold on Indiana. And they turned out to be pretty good. But
so who's going to win this
next
next series?
You can't win a championship with Turner as your center. He's not a championship center.
Well,
that's that. What's it called? It was killing him. Cat down, it was killing him.
Yeah.
No, you can't win. You can't win a champion. You can't be a champion with a center like that. Shooting threes. You 6'11". What's wrong with you? You're 6'11".
Well, all they got to win is 4 games. So who's winning this next series?
I believe Oklahoma will win. I have no idea how many games. I know neither team will be swept, or neither team will have a gentleman's sweep either.
So you think it's going to go at least 6 games?
Yeah, yes.
That sounds about right to me. I'm kind of surprised.
You're going to try, but the advertisers want that one more game. So they said, they will work it out.
I think that still look at Oklahoma City being young, and I think they could fumble the game away or something like that. But I expect them to win this.
Yeah, they're not fumbling it. They're not. They have the right mindset. They're not fumbling this. It could possibly be a sweep, but I wouldn't bet it. No.
So the two guys that were guarding Neesmith and some other guys, Nemhart, did you think they played great defense against or good defense against Brunson?
The game where he scored 23 points, yeah. Other than that, no.
Okay.
He averaged 30. No. He averaged 30. What does anybody want him to do? He averaged 30.
Yeah. No, I thought they slowed their offense down and made them work a lot. How do you think they'll do against Shea?
Not well. Nobody can stop Shea, man. Shea had one game. Silly fans who had no knowledge of the game was like, oh, he had two bad games. It don't matter. Everybody gonna have a bad game, man. Nobody can stop Shea. To answer your question, how I think they're gonna do against Shea, I do not think that they will fare well.
So how do you think Halliburton has been playing?
He's been playing very good.
Do you think Oklahoma City's pressure can slow him down?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I was going to say something silly. I was going to say like they're not really going to focus on trying to shut him down.
Okay, who do you think they're going to focus on?
I don't think they're gonna. They don't have to focus on anybody the way they did Anthony Edwards. I don't think they'll focus on anyone in the series.
See, I think if they slow him down, I think Indiana's offense is going to have a tough time because he has that motion with them. You know, he keeps that kind of perpetual motion.
Right.
And I think if they could take him out of his rhythm, Indiana's going to have a tough time scoring.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know. Indiana has not had any problem running on anybody this year, so.
No, you're right. You're right.
Laying them down, I don't know, but
they haven't faced defense like they're going to face in this.
That's an excellent point because these guys
they got a lot of guys they can throw out a lot of people.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting for sure. I'm excited.
I can't wait till Thursday night. Hey, that's all I got, man.
That's all you got, man?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you watching the Yankees and Dodgers?
No, that game's already started.
No, that was over the weekend, and they playing the Mets now. I think the Mets won last night. And the Mets
you didn't say that I watch. You asked me.
Yes, I did. You didn't hear the ED. I said, did you watch any of the Yankees and Dodgers? Past tense.
Okay.
So they played over the weekend. I think the Yankees won 2 out of 3. I know.
No.
The Dodgers won 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Okay. I know both sluggers hit home runs the first day.
Yeah.
Ohtani and Judge.
Yeah.
And last night, I know the Mets beat the Dodgers, and I was surprised the Mets have a better record than the Dodgers do.
Really?
Yeah. I think they're about 2 games up on them now.
Okay. I got to check the standings. That's good.
I think the Mets have won 38 games and the Dodgers have won 36, something like that.
Wow.
So they probably was 37 to 36 going into yesterday's game.
How many games the Yankees won?
Right around that same amount, about 36 or something like that.
Right. Cool. All right, man. Well, it was always a pleasure talking to you, Larry.
You as well, man. I'm going with Oklahoma City in this.
Yeah, they'll win it all for sure.
I guess by next week we'll have a much better idea. Yeah. My biggest thing is I hope everybody's healthy, and because I just want it to be a competitive series and everybody at their best.
Yeah, cool. All right, Larry.
All right. Until next week, we'll do this again.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today.
Take care.
All right.